and good evening, wonderful viewers, wherever you are. We are back again for exclusively every Sunday between 8 and 9 o'clock. That is the Sports 360 Light on Atlantic TV, the home of TV Revolution. Of course, I'm Big Sam International, the host for today's program. And of course, my guest today is no other than Amadou Tamba the Journalist. We'll have a very good program today, I promise you. But like we always said, sponsors are still invited. Come here to the studio and then we'll bring you the best of sport wherever you need it. Once again, we are located in the Smiling Coast, little Smiling Coast of Africa, and in the West Coast region side of Gambia, far out to where our studio is located. Once again, welcome to Sport 360 Light and Big Sam International, commonly and originally called Bakary Manneh. Well, unfolding my guest today is no other than my own road, Amadou Tamba the Journalist. Arms, let me shake your hand. Ramadan Mubarak. Welcome to Atlantic Sports 360 Live.
Thank you very much, Sam, and a very good evening to all the viewers of Atlantic TV. It's a pleasure to be part of your platform today.
Thank you very much. I'm also very, very happy and glad to have you. Although you will always see him on one of our coverages. Sometimes they will come and have time, talk about the games, etc. And in fact, doing some commentary. Thanks for that, But first time we are here live in our studio. Well, before the Anoma viewers are very important. Everybody talks about the great Amadou Tamba. Talk about capital. Talk about all other where people talk about the Gambian coverage outside. So I got the man himself right here. Although we talk about varieties of questions ranging from his personal life and the Gambian football in general. But first, Amadou, for my viewers, who is Amadou Tamba, the journalist?
Thank you very much. A very good question, and I'll be happy to answer that. Well, Amadou Tamba, the journalist, is someone who was born in the village of Jakoy Sibrik in Fonyi Bintankaranai, then attended Jakoy Primary School, and then to Kanuma Basic Cycle School, and then to the Roskali International Private School in Banjulinding, and then to Majak, that is the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication. And then I have this passion to get into journalism, but I struggled after finishing senior school because I wanted it since I was going to school, but after completing, my guidance and some people were like, no, that is not your way because you are that shy type, so you cannot do it. And I was like, no, this is what I want to do.
Exactly.
If not journalism, I'm not going to do any other thing. And so fortunate for me, my late mom and my uncle are two people who really understood what I wanted, and they were like, look, this is what this young boy wants to do, so let's allow him do what he wants to do. And thank God today I am here because of their understanding.
Wow, thank you. Mommy, may her soul rest in perfect peace, and may Jannah be aboard. Yes, and that will bring me again. When did your journalism career kick-started, and when you got the passion and also, like you tell me, I've always been part of it, but when did it kick off?
Well, it kicked off late 2010, somewhere around December. When I finished school, I returned back to the village, and I was there with my younger brothers and some of the kids at the village. I was so passionate about football. So when I was there, I decided to gather young kids and train them in football. So fortunate for me, we entered into a competition, and I was their coach, and fortunate for me, we won it. And then from there, I have this passion because I was so keen in listening to sports at West Coast Radio, because sports is a constant thing. Then you have the sports file, you have other sporting programs, and you also have the BBC Radio 5 Live, like for instance on the sports wall on Saturday and Sunday. So I was so constantly listening to West Coast, and at some point I decided to call Peter Gomez that, sir, this is what I want to do, and I believe it will be important if you give me the chance to come to your institution to do this and that. So he connected me to Bakary Balde, that is BB. When I went there, he was so open, and they welcomed me, and that was how everything started. So when I got into West Coast, I was there, and I would say I am very, very lucky and very fortunate. Why? Because I met people at West Coast who were absolutely renowned journalists, and they were ready to teach And of course, if you are ready to learn, you will absolutely progress. The likes of Bakary Bibalde, the likes of Babu Karinjai, Abdullah Ba, Sang Mendi. So I would say I was very lucky, and I was ready to learn. And I spent about 6 months at West Coast, where I was opportune to learn a lot. And then from there, the opportunity came for Capital FM when they opened newly. I was recommended by Babu Karinjai that, look, kid, I show a lot of potentials in you, and this is what is happening. If you are available, it's important you take it up. So I decided to say yes, why not? Let me go forward to take it. So I applied. Fortunately for me, it was accepted, and I was employed with Capital FM. There I continued to rise because I was able to host programs there, though I hosted a couple or so at West Coast. But with Capital, I was able to at least progress because I was under Babu Karinjai as well. There we also worked closely with Sheikh Tijan Gay, Ibrahima Dabo, that is Springs, and then under Sol So, who was also very much encouraging and supportive. So from there on, I started getting more experience and also gathering some of the trainings as far as journalism is concerned. And then I loved the job and continued to love it because it's something that I was very much passionate about. And every day when I wake up, I feel excited to get to the office to do what I love doing.
Well, at that dojo, we must give a big thanks to our encyclopedia, our mentor, and everybody of us. That is Uncle Peter Gomez. I remember back in 1998, I think somewhere 89, somewhere in Brikama, he found me. By then, GRTS would always go around for, the Sunday commentary, and then Nawek or Gamtel will put the OB, line down. He find me, commenting on Brikama community. He said, yeah. And then he talked to me. He said, "You got this thing. I knew you can do it." He said, "In fact, my first assignment will be I'll appoint you as my West Coast or Brikama." He used to do, but then that was not West Coast. It was at Radio Gambia. Yeah. So he called. They call it Sport Roundup. And then I was definitely. He just employed me. They say, "I will use you as my reporter on Brikama and for the Sport Roundup." And then not only from there, Peter Gomez went to groom all of us together. So thank you so much. Here we are. We're so proud of you. In fact, I will get you on one of my exclusive interviews. That'll be very, very good. Amadou, it's all about sports, which you are very interested. Again, I want to know on sports from West Coast, which other media houses that you pass. I know Saliu, of course, Jangalengen, but also passed through you yourself. He always call you boss. So, and where do you pass through some of these media houses, and currently where you are?
Yeah, I was with, when I left West Coast, I was with Capital FM. I spent a decade or so with Capital. And there I gained a lot of experience, covered some national and international events. And then from Capital FM, at some point I resigned and then worked independently for 1 year, which I was mainly focused on my Facebook page, that is Amadou Tamba the Journalist, and of course Instagram and other social media handles. And from there, people who used to follow me were like, "Come on, boy, we miss your voice on the mainstream media, so it's important you return." Every day I used to get a lot of messages, so I sat and said, look, I was doing a job for the Gambian people, and now most of them have missed hearing me every morning and in the evening as well, when we used to analyze the Gambian league matches. Players and coaches alike all fell in love with it because it was absolutely insightful about the league. So they were like, if we get it our way, we wish that you return back to the mainstream media. So I was like, yeah, I will put it into consideration, because if we're doing a job for the people and they appreciate it, it's important that you consider them. And then after a while, I have other people who also came and recommended me that, look, I think you can do something for Q Radio and the QTV. So I contacted people there, and so fortunately for me, I worked with Suleiman Conte, that is DJ Rati, at Capital FM. Okay. He knew what I can do, and he recommended me, so I applied. I went through an interview, and I was fortunate to be employed at Q Radio. So everything was made possible, because if the gate was not open or recommended for me by Suleiman Conte, that is Rati, it will be difficult for me, and I will say a very big thank you to him. For me, I think it's important not to forget people who paved the way for you, no matter how good you are. But there might be people who are there to recommend and even do something for you. So I would say thank you to him. Then I applied, I got into Q Radio. I was doing the same program in the morning, that is the Bright Sports program. It was well appreciated because before, yeah, Capital has a very wide coverage in the country, but there are instances where the Q Radio can get to, they don't get to that area. So at some point I feel like, okay, there were a lot of people who were struggling to get to my sports program. Now they're able to listen to it all the way to Basse and the likes. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm now doing a good job as well as the way I was doing before. So it was well appreciated. And then I was with Q Radio for some time. The TV management also realized that, look, this guy is good. If he comes up to the TV, I think he will also add something to the TV. And then I was also moved into the TV as well. So I was doing two. I will do the radio program, and I will also have the sports program with Mamadou Gajaga on the TV. And at some point, I was also doing other normal coverages as well for the TV.
Normal journalism coverage.
Journalism coverages as well for the TV. Because if you're in sports, I don't think it will be a problem for you to transition into other coverages and stuff, because sports is a little bit critical as well. So I was able to do all those stuffs, and thank God, for me, I will always thank the Almighty, because I've not been facing a lot of difficulties in any media house that I go into.
Okay.
People around have been always very supportive to me, and I was ready to learn. And at Q Radio, QTV, the likes of Suleiman Conterati, as I said, and I was able to, of course, meet a very, very seasoned journalist who is very experienced, that is Mr. Ade, and Babukar as well. All those people around there, my fellow journalists, Esos, Alu Sise, and the likes, they were all very supportive. And I will have to thank everybody over there. And at some point, after 1.5 years or so, I decided to call it time with Q Radio and QTV, and then look for other stuff, because I believe I was getting a little bit engaged.
Another challenge.
Yeah, and look forward to other challenges, because everyone wants to at least face different challenges along the line. But my time with all these media houses have absolutely been very, very fruitful, and the people I worked with, I came across, have absolutely been amazing people.
Well, a quick, I was thinking, a quick rectification. Back in the days with me and Peter, it was not 89, I was in somewhere in Krabal. That was 98, because Brikama Community Radio was 98, 97, 90. So it was from 98, 99, etc. Away from that, yes, where can we find Amadou Tamba the Journalist?
Well, right now, I am very much into a media officer role. I am working with the Gambian Dutch Lions as their media officer, handling their social media pages, and got to do a lot with the players and coaches as well, because it's also important to be in a position to make sure the players and the coaches and everything that got to do with the media as far as the club is concerned is out there at the right time. So with that, the president Ari Treffers, and of course the CEO Kemo Sise, and all the management at the Gambian Dutch Lions have been very welcoming, and all the players as well. The working environment is really very good. And aside from that, I'm doing my freelance journalism as a journalist as well, continuing with my page, that is Amadou Tamba the Journalist, trying to find the necessary information as far as Gambian sports is concerned, to update the Gambian people, and also my Instagram page, that is Amadou Tamba the Journalist as well, and then the YouTube channel as well, which I'm also trying to make sure I upgrade it by putting in a lot of stuff that is of relevance to the Gambian people and sports in Africa as well, and worldwide in general. So that in a nutshell, this is what I'm into right now.
Right now. Okay, let me bring you a little bit back. As a journalist, most people will see Amadou Tamba the Journalist covering here, outside, etc. Can you take us through to some of the games that you cover, especially outside? I know Gambia is every day international, not only league games, but games that you cover so far outside as a journalist, sports journalist.
Yeah, I'll be very happy to answer that question. Before the international coverage, I think I took it upon myself to cover the Gambian League extensively and exclusively as well, because there I was able to know the nitty-gritties in the game. And I think my first international assignment was in 2015 when the Gambia Chan team played against Senegal in the Chan qualifiers in Senegal. That was at the start Demba Diop. I was there, and I had the opportunity also to do a live commentary in that game. And there, of course, some of my co-commentators were San Mendy and Mamadou Ba as well were also there. So from there, I also had the opportunity to cover the first major tournament, that is the African Cup of Nations in Cameroon, that is in 2021. And then I also had the opportunity as well to cover the African Games in Ghana. That is where the Gambia under-20 participated. I also covered the under-20 Cup of Nations in Egypt. When the Gambia went all the way to the final, unfortunate to lose to Senegal. And then I think I would say one of the biggest was in Senegal. That is, of course, at the new stadium. That is the Stade Abdoulaye Wade.
Yeah, that's the new one.
Yeah, the FIFA World Cup qualifier between Egypt and Senegal, because it was a battle for the World Cup spot. And I was fortunate to be there. Seeing a game that comprised of the world stars on the African continent, the likes of Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, and the like. So it was an absolute privilege for me to be in that stadium. It was a new stadium, the first official game for Senegal in that stadium, and I was part of the crowd to witness that game. So I think I got I would not say a lot, but I think I got a little bit of experience when it comes to international coverage, and I would definitely want to do more because it's important. It's absolutely important. Yeah.
I'm sure you will, as you are still doing, and then people will follow. Later on, Amadou will give you all the handles that he's into. Moving on, at Dot Lion, what is your day-to-day work? And also, in the news, we have seen some very wonderful, upgrading coming to that team, which is just barely a year or so now.
So people are still wondering how we're able to do that. Yes, for Dot Lions, I would say I am very happy to be part of the family. They also saw the job that I was doing, and they believe if I am part of them, I will be able to add something into the team. And I would say thank you to the CEO, Kemo Sise, and thank you to the President, Ari Treffers, and the entire executive for having the trust in me to be part of the team. Well, my day-to-day activity is, of course, attending team training, because it's important as a media personnel for the club to attend the team's training, to be able to be au fait with everything that is around the team. And then also updates about the club's activities on social media, that is the Instagram page and the Facebook as well. Match days as well. You design the team's flyers and also design the team's starting 11 and stuff. And also interviews for the team. And then the Faraba complex, I would say this is the first time that I am involved from the start to the end of a football pitch, because I saw where the Faraba land was cleared. I witnessed where everything was uprooted and stuff. I witnessed where the ground was leveled. I witnessed where it was compact. I witnessed where it was measured to see whether the field is the surface is level or not. I witnessed where the turf was laid. I was part of the people who were even assisting on how the turf were spread out with some people in the community and as well. And I saw very, very dedicated people. The president and the CEO are absolutely dedicated people who don't settle for less. They absolutely want to see things done in the right way. And one will be surprised, having a club that comes into effect within 1.5 years, and be able to do this and put up such a surface in Faraba is absolutely down to dedication, the commitment, and the willingness to expose Gambian players and West African players under the WAFU zone to the best of facilities, and also create an avenue for them in Europe, USA, and Asia, and other parts of the world for them to excel. Because getting a very, very good football pitch is an advantage to players to excel in their careers and go on to become professional players. So at Dot Lions, it's absolutely very, very exciting to be within that circle. And the players and everybody within the team is just amazing. They're all amazing people, and they all have the same mentality. That is, of course, to uphold the standards of professionalism, and to get this club reach its intended target. Because if you can achieve this within the space of 1.5 years, less than 2 years, how will it be when you are in existence for 3, 4, 5 years or even a decade. So we are on the right track, and we hope that more success will follow suit.
Like I tell, Amadou will give you the Facebook later on so that you can follow on Dutch Lion, the new stadium at Faraba, etc. on that. Before we come to the Gambian, I want us to take a little bit here because let me tell you that Amadou, the journalist, is not only the journalist, but at the same time a coach. So how can he manage all these two? You talked about Jago. I saw him. Coaching Jaco Sibirok live. I covered the game, and I saw him, the double champion of West Coast Zonal champion of Foni. He being the assistant coach. How does this come out, and how do you entangle these two as a coach?
Well, in life, I believe that what is in your heart, follow it. Don't let anyone distract you or tell you cannot do it.
Yeah.
Before I became a journalist, I think I ventured into coaching. When I finished school in 2009, I returned back to the village, and that is where I started with these kids.
Okay, with the kids.
And so fortunate for me, we entered into that competition, and we won the trophy. That was the first trophy for the village.
Okay.
That was the first trophy for the village.
Okay.
And at such a young age, I was 19, 20 back then.
Okay.
And then I was playing, we had two teams. The village is absolutely blessed with good players.
Okay.
We had two teams. So I was young back then. I wasn't playing for the first team. I was in the second team.
Okay.
And we played one competition. The second one was an open tournament at our zone, where even the junior team would playing against the senior team. Okay. So we did so well. And from that competition, I was moved into the senior team. When I get into the senior team, I spent a lot of time on the bench because I met most of the players who were absolutely very good.
Okay.
And to be honest, they were ahead of me when it comes to experience. So I have to sit and wait. So after that season, it has been 3 good years.
Okay.
Our village have been going into the final and we lose.
Okay.
3 good years. And then some of the players in the senior team were like, come on, boy, we think you might be the lucky one for the village.
To coach it?
Yes.
Okay.
So if it is up to us, it's important that you quit playing and become a coach for us. And I was like, come on, what are you thinking? I am just starting. I've not played Nawetan for 2-3 years, and you want me to stop playing? So I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. Okay. So I was also at some point playing for the junior team at school level. We went all the way to the final and we lost. So it became something of a constant news to me. Okay. Anyone I meet in the village will be like, boy, we think it's the time for you. So you have to step in. Okay. So the village had a general meeting. When the players spoke to me, I said, okay, that's not a problem. I think if people are pushing and saying, guy, we need you to do this, we need you to do this, it's important you listen to them. Okay. So I listened to them, I told them, okay, it will not be a problem. I will do as you wish, because it was also my concern. You got to play 3 finals and lose. God knows, maybe I will be the guy to win the first trophy for the village. So I decided to quit football and ventured into coaching. My first year to coach the senior team was in 2016. So fortunate for me, I coached players who were absolutely way older than me. Exactly. But I stamped my authority and they listened. They were so law-abiding because they also wanted to win something for the village. So we went all the way to the final unbeaten in 2016, and we won the trophy. That was the first ever trophy for the village at senior level. Okay. So I was like, yeah, if I didn't do this, by now we might be regretting of not winning a trophy again. So from there on, I connect the two, being a journalist and being a coach. It was difficult, but I was able to at least try and balance the two. And up until today, I am very passionate about the two. Though journalism is the top of everything. Well, as sometimes people tend to wonder, where are you? Are you a journalist or a coach? Journalism is on top of everything, but coaching is absolutely something that is in me. And you look at the two, they're related. Yeah. Once you get the experience of being a coach, you get the knowledge, you can be able to analyze games like the way you want to. And that is also part of me. Game analysis is also part of me. So I see the two as something that is very much good for me to take it. So I went into coaching constantly. We went to the final the previous year. We lost. I have this broader picture of helping players from my village to become professional players and play in the national leagues because I saw what they can do. They are absolutely talented players. But in Fonyi, we are not opportune to be playing in the top competitions or so unless we move into combo. So that is why I decided to bring them into the Brikama qualifiers. We played in the Brikama qualifiers for a couple of years or so. I think the year that we came closest was the year before last. If anyone told us that you cannot qualify, we wouldn't believe because I had absolute good players. But luck wasn't on our side. The game that we lose and were able to qualify, we led 2-0 and we were pegged back. We also got into the third division qualifiers. This year we had a very good team. So unfortunate that we couldn't win. And then I was doing it for my village. So what can I do for the entire people of Fonyi? So the issue of the Fonyi zonal team came. For the head coach, I applied, and also out of the application, I think Ibrahima Kamara was appointed. And then I had the opportunity to become his assistant for the past 3 years. He's a very top coach who welcomes everyone. We listen, we learn, and Alhamdulillah, we're able to win something for Fonyi. Not only 1 year, but we're able to do it back to back.
Which has never happened.
Yeah, which has never happened. So the two is very, very, the two are very much together for me, and I cannot go and leave one.
That's Amadou Tamba the Journalist. Moving on, the state of the Gambian football. We are into qualified, which we will touch a little bit right now. In fact, Gambia plays Kenya, and then we'll be playing Monday with Ivory Coast. Both games are to be played in Ivory Coast, by the way. But then, state of the Gambian football, as a coach and as a journalist, Amadou.
The state of Gambian football is impressive at the moment, I will say. On the pitch, infrastructural wise is very, very, I would say, disheartening in the sense that this game against Kenya is a home game and we are not playing at home. That is absolutely disheartening. And then it's very good and very bright at the moment on the pitch. Why? Because we have very good youngsters who are absolutely at the peak of their careers. And for us who have been covering the league for a long time, we are happy to see this because 90 to 95% of all these players have passed through the Gambian league. And we are very proud that we've seen most of them play in the league. We saw what they can do. So when they step in out there, they can deliver the goods. The likes of Yankuba Minte, of course, Alassana Yirajang recently, Musa Barrow, the likes of Jibril Silla have all played in the Gambian league and we saw them play. The likes of Omar Kuli and the likes, James Gomez and so, even though he's not in this international window, the Ali Sows, there are some Ceases back then. So it's really, we are on the right track. The only thing that we need to do is we need to put up constant performance that are absolutely at a high level. Because in the last AFCON qualifiers, it still holds a lot of Gambians as to how we are able to make it to the AFCON because we have the players to qualify us. So that was a disappointment, and now this World Cup qualifiers, for us to say we are going to qualify, it will be a very, very big call. But what we need to do is let us just focus and compete honorably to try and win our games, and anything that comes our way, we will build on it towards the next AFCON qualifiers, which is a must for us to qualify. So the state of Gambian football right now is mixed feelings. Infrastructural wise, we got a lot to do, a lot of improvement to do. Because the only main stadium that we have is still does not meet the standard criteria, which I think CAF needs to look into it as well. Because with due respect to other countries, there are other stadiums that they approve.
You remember the sport journalist Iftar with the code he said he saw pitches that Gambia pitch is far better than them.
Absolutely.
So I think CAF should definitely come to it this time.
Absolutely. In that area, the stadium needs to be, of course, approved, and we play matches at home. Since 2021, we are yet to play at home. And then when it comes to the player pool, we are having players playing at the highest level, and we hope that it continues. We don't want it to drop because now we have Yankuba Minte playing in the Premier League. We have Abdullah Cisse, who is also playing in the German Bundesliga. We have other players who are playing top leagues, the Mahmoud Bajo and of course Yerajang, Abdullah Jallo, Musa Barrow, Jibril Silla, who is absolutely in fine form in Tanzania. So we want this to be continue to be going on a high level. And also, this is where we have been getting problems. Players coming in from the national league to the national team. It's difficult to break into the national team from the Gambian league, but I think once upon a time, I think the best performing players in the league should be integrated into the national team. Even 1 or 2 players should be integrated into the national team. That will give a boost to the league. Players will wake up to say, look, I played with Sam last season. Sam has been invited to the national team. He played 1 qualifiers or he played 1 friendly with the national team. Next year it has to be me.
Exactly.
So the competition will be up there. Everybody will be having an eye on the national team. So I think that is also an area. Now we're seeing McKinstry going around watching the league.
Exactly.
It should not. Yes. It should not only be watching the league. There should be players who will be transitioned and integrated into the national team. And also there is a CHAN team as well. So I believe from the league to the CHAN team and the national team, it's absolutely very good. But I think Gambian football have a long way to go. What we are having right now, we can absolutely get better in the long run. So I think there is room for improvement day in, day out. We have a long way to go. We don't just want to qualify to the African Cup of Nations. We want to win it. We want to qualify to the World Cup because we believe we have the players to do so. So it's a responsibility of everybody, from the government, the Gambia Football Federation, the media, the Gambian fans. Everybody has a role to play. Once we are together collectively as a country, we will get there.
We'll get there. And of course, we will get there. And that brings me, Amadou, to the Gambia open up their World Cup qualifying two in the space of a day or so. That is, we play in Kenya, and then on Monday we are playing the team that you go, that is the African champions, Cote d'Ivoire. What analysis can you give us in that two-legged games, and what's your honest opinion about that, especially the World Cup qualifiers?
To be honest with you, I am not going to be a fan. I'm going to be realistic. As I said earlier on, it's going to be a very big call for us to say we are going to qualify to the World Cup. I don't think so, to be honest. I am a Gambian. I want to see Gambia qualify to major competitions. But right now, you look at Ivory Coast, the pace they've set already. You look at teams closer to them. For us to be able to conquer all these teams and be top of the table, to me, it's not realistic.
Okay.
Yes, to me, it's not realistic. Let's approach the games honorably. Try to win.
Okay.
If we can win, if we can get a point, we try to get point, and we build on this towards the next AFCON qualifiers. Kenya have a good side. This is our first time to meet them. The coach will be motivated. The Kenyan players will be motivated because McKinstry was in Kenya coaching Gor Mahia. There are some players from the Gor Mahia team that will be in the Kenyan team, Kenyan national team, playing against their former coach. So they will be motivated. McKinstry will be motivated. He will try to motivate his players to go and get a result against Kenya. That is a top one. But the big call is against Ivory Coast. Adingra. The likes of course, they have the Kessis, they have the Nika, they also have the Sebastian Haller, you name them. But football is not played on paper, it's played on the pitch.
On the pitch,
Our players need to be extra motivated that we can do it. We put Cameroon to the sword. We made them sweat before they were able to win us in that African Cup of Nations tie. So if they believe that they can do it, they can absolutely cause an upset against Ivory Coast. But to be realistic, I think we will absolutely put the players under immense pressure if we say that we are going to qualify to the USA World Cup. So anything is possible, but let us be realistic, stay calm, stay humble, go there and fight as a team and try to get a result.
That's very real. Before we go, what is the most important message, or you feel there is something that you want to say and I never asked that question? What will it be?
Well, the only thing is to say thank you to everybody who played a part in my success or in me being here today. I might not be able to name everybody, but I recognize everyone who played a part until I get here today. People have been so supportive, and people have seen that this guy got potential, so it's important we support him, and a lot of people have been supportive. Though there are certain areas that I were able to try and get, but I was unable to get it, but I believe whatever Allah has destined for you, you will surely get it. So thank you to everybody who has been very supportive. And then when it comes to Gambian football, I am very, very passionate, and I cannot go without Gambian football. But the thing is, my message to every Gambian is, let us stick together as a country. Let us criticize the authorities where it is necessary. And where they do good, let us recognize the good work that they've done. And that is the only thing that will move us forward. The authorities as well, If you criticize and you believe that this area you absolutely could have done better, accept it in good faith and let's forge ahead. Because there is no point in the pushing and pulling and fighting here and there. The Gambia belongs to us. We all want to see Gambia succeed. So let's put our hearts and heads together as a country. We'll absolutely be able to get to where we want to be.
That's Amadou Tamba. I told you will get a very, very good program. But before we go, we have to do justice to you. He's a free journalist. Lance, and also got his pages, social media handle. Can you share with them so that they can follow you on everything that you're doing?
Yeah, for Facebook is Amadou Tamba Journalist. It's on Facebook. You can follow as well. Instagram is Amadou_Tamba_Journalist is on Instagram. For LinkedIn is the same thing, Amadou_Tamba_Journalist. And then for YouTube is Scoreboard TV, that is the YouTube channel. So that's it. You can find me on social media, and it's not difficult. On Facebook and on Instagram, my contacts are there, okay. So you can get me anytime. For email is amadousports1@gmail.com. So that's it.
So that is Gambia. Thank you. Let me say again, Ramadan Kareem.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful program. I'm so elated. This is the best that you can get. But keep sponsoring, come and sponsor, and then we'll give you. In the meantime, before we go, big thanks to the beautiful camera people out here. Aliu, the one and only Edu. Someone new Nala Fofu, and Rocky B International. I'm so tired, poor boy. If you are working with poor people, you are always Rocky B International. Taxi day.
Just 1 minute before you go, I think I needed to do a clear manifestation for these guys. I was also in the third division. I coached for Sinted United, Tumbul FC and the like. So thank you to the people out there who also had the trust and gave me the responsibility to coach their teams here, Sinted and Tumbul in the third division as well.
Thank you so much. On that note, like I said, we'll be back again next Sunday, same place, same time, and same, On that note, keep on sporting. Bye-bye.